Today I am getting some sawdust blocks ready for inoculating with mushroom spawn, and I just thought I would take you along on the process that I use for that. I did forget to record this part, but I have, they're not pellets, they're blocks that are like the wood pellets that people use in their pellet stoves. So it's hardwood, and I take those sawdust blocks and I soak them at least overnight. This has actually been soaking a couple days because I was busy this week. And then I have these bags that I just got them off Amazon. I'll include a link below. They have a filter patch on them to keep out microbes and stuff so the mycelium can grow in here without any competition. And then I just go, and it's a little wetter than I would like, but I'll just kind of squeeze it out as I go. It'll be fine. And I go ahead and I fill these bags about 3/4 of the way full. Hang on, I'll be right back. So now I have this about 3/4 of the way full, and I'm super high tech here, so I'm going to use coffee filters. And what I do is I take and I put, hang on, these bags have, so this has gussets in it, and so I just come on here and go like this, and then I take my coffee filter, and the purpose of this is so as it's cooling and it's sucking in some air, it doesn't suck in any spores or anything that are in the air. So then I just kind of fold it down and kind of push the air out, and I get it to the point where I can fold it down to where the filter is on the top. And then I load it into my pressure cooker, and I can fit, if I remember right, I fit 3 bags in here, but I'm going to try to squish in 4 today. We'll see what happens. And then when that's all done, I will come back and show you. So here I was actually a little short for one of the bags, and so I only did the 3 bags. And this is what I do in here. Now I'm going to fill this up so the water is just below, well, not just below, but about 2 inches below the top of the bag where it's filled. And you want to make sure there's plenty of water in there, because you're going to process these in, excuse me, I'm a little close. You're going to process these in the pressure cooker, or canner rather, for, I think it was 90 minutes. I gotta go check my notes, and I'll be right back. So now the water is in there. Oh, and did you notice that I put a plate on top of here? I did that because I don't want the bags to like puff up and block this hole here that lets all the pressure release, because that would be a really bad thing without an explosion. And just gonna line up my arrows, which I seem to be having. There we go. Line up the arrows and seal it, and then I'm gonna put it on the stove and come back in 90 minutes and let it depressurize, and then I'll take the bags out and I'll show you what the next step is. I switched over to this big tub because I need to make up enough, or at least all that I have of the mushroom bags, because I have that big bag of the grain spawn. So I just wanted to show you again how I did that. I put 6 bricks in here. I know it's dark in here. Let me see.
I put 6 sawdust bricks in here, and about a half to a 3/4 cup of wheat bran. I forgot to mention that last time, and the wheat bran helps to feed everything. It's a source of nitrogen. And then I also measure out these bags into 4-pound bags, and that's what I do before I put them in the pressure cooker. Got the last 2 sawdust blocks that I'm gonna make, sterilizing right now, and then I have these grain jars that I'll be feeding the grain spawn I have and making more grain spawn. And once that's all done, then I'll be inoculating everything. I forgot to take you along while I inoculated my grain jars, but the process that I use for the bags is basically the same. So just apply those principles to your grain jars. So I get myself all set up. You're going to want some rubbing alcohol. You're going to want some tape to seal your bags. You're going to want, of course, scissors to cut it. And then I mark the inoculation date. All of this needs to be sterilized with rubbing alcohol, including your hands. And I'll go ahead, even because now I went and put on an apron and I've been touching some other things, the camera, I'll even go ahead and put a little rubbing alcohol in my hands before I go to the next step and just rub it in. And then I have this paper towel here, and from time to time I'll go get a new one. For each bag, I squirt a little fresh rubbing alcohol on it. And wipe down the whole area before you ever open the bag from after you sterilize it in your pressure cooker, or if you have an autoclave that, but I probably think you probably wouldn't be watching my video. So you go ahead and rub your bag down. Do you want to? Anyway, so now you rub the whole outside of the bag and take out that coffee filter, or if you have something more fancy, you take the filter out of the top here. And then I have my grain spawn here in the sink. It's really ready to be put in other things. And then I just reach in and I grab a little chunk and then I put it in here, and you just kind of break it up so that it's, you know, all over. And I just do, I guess, probably about between 1/4 and 1/2 cup. I don't really measure it, I just use the palm of my hand. Once I have this on my hand, I do not put my hand back in there and brush any of this mycelium spawn grain. I just brush my hands off into the sink behind it, and that's why it's in the sink. So then I'm going to go ahead and just keep my hands on the outside of the bag. I'm trying to touch all of the things that are inside the bag as little as possible. And then I go ahead and get a piece of tape. Seal the bag. You fold it down so that your micron patch is not folded over in the plastic, because this needs to breathe. And then I write the inoculation date. 1. And set it aside and go on to the next one. And then I'm just going to repeat these steps for each and every bag. I'm going to go ahead, get a little fresh rubbing alcohol. All over here, because I mean, these have been sitting here a few days. I've
really busy. I haven't been able to get back to this. Now that's all wiped down. And again, a little bit of alcohol in my hand. Nice and sterile. And open the bag. My husband is building me a blow hood, which is basically a filter with a fan that will keep things, the air all around me here, sterile when I'm working. I will have to call you. So. Get the grains done, break it up. Wash my hands off in the sink, not the bag. Go ahead. Get a piece of tape. Down. Tape it closed. Date it. And move on to the next one. And that's that. Okay, so I still have a lot of grain spawn left. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge to slow down the process here. In a few more days it is gonna get nice out. I actually want to use probably about half of this and try to inoculate some mycelium into my garden and out around the yard and kind of experiment with that, see if I can get it to grow outdoors, because oyster mushrooms grow in the forest all the time. And then the other thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get some more bags ready, and I'll inoculate those as well. This is the first time I've actually ever bought this bulk of spawn. I've bought smaller batches before, so I wasn't sure how far it would go. It's definitely going a nice long ways, which I really like. And I'm going to go ahead and take these bags, and I'll just kind of move it around and massage it a little into the sawdust spawn, or substrate, but I'm not too worried about that. You see, it's going to go down as I move the bags around and get them in. And then it's going to all go into this nice dark area here and into my humidity tent, and it will stay there usually anywhere between 1 and 4 weeks. It depends on the temperature and the humidity, you know, of the air in general. And then I will show you the next step in a different video. But that's all you gotta do to really inoculate the bags. You do have to just keep everything really sterile. You gotta get your mycelium from a quality source and just follow the steps. Now, that being said, it's taken me a while to get down a good system that works for me in my home and everything. So you do have to work at it a little, but it's fun and it's really rewarding to have fresh mushrooms.